Hello and welcome to our workflow video on our video scaling software, Zoom Video 3. This is the professional version. Let's load a video. This is a step-by-step guide to achieving the fastest and the best possible results. The first decision we have to make is over on the left, and it's about whether we want a specific look for the video. Do we want it to be a bit brighter or darker? Should it have more color? Should it be a bit warmer or cooler? Any of the looks that can be selected from the presets here. You can apply these presets at any time, but I'd always make this decision at the beginning so it can serve as the basis for the rest of our settings. Let's leave it as original here. Original means the video is exactly the same as when it was loaded without any changes. For our next step, we go over to the right. Let's turn our gaze over to the scaling area for the video. At the top we have the size settings where we have to or should choose a resolution. We can do so either using the buttons Full HD or 4K, or we can just set a resolution as a size here, which is then calculated proportionally. Let's leave it on 4K. That's the standard resolution we use today. If you want a very large resolution, like in the 12K or 16K range, you'll need a computer with a lot of power. As you can imagine, these calculations are quite demanding and use a lot of RAM. For 16K resolution, 128 gigs of RAM is recommended, so you really need high power machines to generate these massive resolutions. Once we've chosen the resolution, the next step is to choose the quality. Of course, we want the best quality, but we always have to consider how much time we're prepared to wait for our results. The higher you set the quality, the longer the calculation takes, of course, because the device has more things to calculate. Let's click Calculate Preview and take a look. Let's zoom in on the person here. Let's put them side by side. That's the third option at the top. We're then shown the same area on the left and on the right in the close-up view. I can use the cursor keys to zoom in and out a bit here. The left side is the original and the right side is the scaled version. As you can see, there's already a big leap in quality. We can now see that this is a human being. And if we look at the person further down, for instance, we can see much more of the original details. By original details, I mean the program estimates what details might have been there. And this estimation is mathematical with a high level of precision, which gives us some good results. So once we've chosen our quality, let's discard that. Maybe I now see the edge smoothing and contours. They don't really look great to me yet. They're still a little square, I'd say. In that case, I can select a higher quality level for the gamma aliasing, maybe level 6. Let's calculate the preview again and have another look. We can see the contours are now a lot better. So if we set a higher quality, we get a better result, but we have to wait a little longer. And the same applies to the area below that. Super sampling. Super sampling is a method that calculates the video at a higher resolution and then reduces the result to the desired resolution. That makes the video smoother and more homogeneous overall, but of course it needs a lot more calculation time. If you don't want to set that manually, you can just use the preset quality modes here. The default setting is level 6 and you can turn it up or down from there. The high detail modes, again, require more calculation time. So that was the preview of an image with level 9. It becomes even more homogeneous and the quality improves again. Let's reset that to the original. The choice is all yours. It always depends a little on how long the video is, what your target resolution is, and how long you're willing to wait for the result. The next decision has to be made down here in the intelligent details area. This is about how much structure we want to add to the video. Let's go to an area we looked at in the video on the new features. Let's look at the vegetation here again. Let's have a closer look. Hold the cursor key down. Up here is the box we're adjusting with the cursor keys. We can move in even closer. The one on the left is the original, and the one on the right is the upscaled version. Some micro details have already been created by the underlying scaling process. However, we can intensify them even more with the new intelligent details. Down here we can use one of the presets to do so. The preset for landscapes is 33%. For pictures of animals, it's 41%. These are values that we developed over time in various videos and that look pretty good. Let's turn it up a bit in this video so we can see it again quickly. Let's calculate it again and have another look at the area. Now we see that loads of additional micro details have been created that weren't there before, but they fit the picture well. They're calculated from the surroundings. It's a statistical process, pure mathematics, that takes place in the calculation. Once we've chosen our level of detail, let's set it to a sensible range between 20 to 30%. That's always a good range. Let's use 23. That's what I've just set. And now I've basically finished choosing my video settings. I still have to pick a codec. I'll leave that as it is. And a quality mode, I'll leave that as it is as well. Unless I want to edit the video elsewhere afterwards, in that case, I'd actually recommend maximum if we're making H.264 videos or MPEG-4 to ensure our quality is as high as possible for further processing. If you intend this to be the final video, the preset quality level 3 is very, very good. Now we've basically configured all the settings we need for our core look, for the scaling and details. And right at the very end, if we want, let's close the zoom area. We can now use our additional new modules, let's say the color module, to change an individual color in the video. There's a separate video for this module. You're welcome to take a look. Or we can apply an LUT style. Most of you who work with videos will know what that is. It's a simple way to add a look to your image using an LUT function, a lookup table. We'll leave that for now. You can also use our pre-trained AI filters here if you like. Let's go back to the zoom area and calculate all our settings. Let's press render video. Let's change the name to 4K and then save the video. As you'll see, the calculation is relatively quick. We can also see that the calculation speeds up as the video progresses thanks to the new automatic scene change detection features in the algorithmic short-term memory, which has more time to build itself up for better optimization. It'll take about a minute. Let's just let it run through. The image is updated at points so you can see the progress. Another thing to show you later is this setting here, the view for the current image and the speed, FPS, or the frames per second that are being calculated from an SD video that's 1280 pixels wide to a 4K video that's 3840 pixels wide. Quite a lot has to be calculated for this kind of scaling. It's almost finished now. Then we can take a look at the result. On that note, let me direct your gaze to the bottom left corner, to the play button with the circle around it. As soon as your video is calculated, it turns green and you can play it directly from there. And now we can see the finished result in 4K. We've got a really homogeneous video. I also promised to show you our setting where you can see the frame display. It's under settings at the top under refresh. You can switch this function on so the progress bar then shows the current calculation speed on your computer. You can then compare speeds, for instance. How much faster is one quality mode? What does the whole thing give you? How much more or less do you have to wait? I hope this video helps you find your way around the program a little. Of course, please feel free to check out the other videos too and have fun trying it all out. And see you next time.